one I did today. I skipped yesterday because I was so tired, but that's fine. So I did it today. Plus, I there was no point in going to the store 3 days in a row. I got paid today, so I might as well do the second store run when I got paid so I can buy the things I need. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got the return on them. I actually spent the return. I'm not giving her the return. That's my effort that went into putting them back, and so some of it actually went into toiletries for the house. So it's not like it was necessarily all me just take. So I gave back to the house. But yeah. So there was in total 8 boxes of those like 12 packs of bottles and two of the 6 packs, the little foldable ones. I need to break the boxes down and go put them in the recycle box because I have them sitting off to the side, which probably isn't a good thing because then it'll just make her feel bad for how much she's drank. And like
Am proud of you for doing the
half
things
of
you
them are
needed
over
to
a
get
year
done.
old. They've been here since before I moved in. So it's not like she's done it all in one sitting. So I don't want to like put that on her as a hey, this happened. So, but she called me yesterday to inform me we have another inspection on the 26th for the finalization of the sale of the house. And
Welcome,
hey
naughty
Hugo.
Hugo. We love
How
you.
you doing? So she called me to tell me that, and I told her what I did for the house, like the cleanup and the getting the bottles returned, and she almost started crying on the phone. Yeah, we got a 90-day notice, so as soon as we find a place, we have to move. And when we move, uh, it's gonna be like a day or two of me not being live, unless we get everything set up the same day. Then I'll probably not worry about unpacking. I've been living out of boxes all year, so actually technically I've been living out of boxes and things for the past 4 years because I lived in a garage before this.
Good job!
Like straight up, I had all my stuff in boxes so that way I could easily maneuver through things because it was this room is bigger than the space that I had to live in. Like this this is so much space, and there's more room that way. There's an entire other queen size bed in this room. I'd show you, but it's covered in boxes. So, like, this is a really good sized space. It's just, I knew from the moment I moved in that we weren't going to be staying, so I didn't unpack fully because it just wouldn't make sense. You know? Oh, pardon. Now, I need to count my stitches on the next pass through because I need 200 stitches. That's what this started as. And I need to know how many I'm short by. Especially now that I've been adding back in. Actually kind of warm. I've got a heater at my feet, and I believe the heat's on. Yeah, I think the heat's on. Like, currently. I'm making a blanket. Flap, 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 flap. Uh, this piece of colored fabric you see here is actually the other blanket that I made that I use daily. I can also show you guys a couple of the stuffed animals I've made if you want. After the ad. Well, I can search for it. I'll go search for some of them while the ad is playing. So those of you who are subbed will get to watch me wander around the room in search of things. And those of you who are not, well, you've got that. See, I know I've got these two. Oh, I forgot about this blanket. So I'll show off the two blankets. I'll show off my stuffed animals. Got a bag of hats and other things that I made. What is this doing in here? You don't belong in there, silly.
Incoming ad break.
There we go. I've got no head. We got about 30 seconds left on that ad. All right. Is everyone back from the ad? Okay. First, I'm going to show you the blankets I've got. This was the first one I made successfully. I've actually used it a lot for sitting on. It is very narrow and long. So for a while, I had it as a seat cover before I got the good seat. Then the next successful one I made was this one, which is pretty long, but still too narrow. So it gets used when I want something wrapped around my shoulders, because it's just the right length
Welcome
for that.
Elma Pachin to the madhouse.
Then I showed you guys the blanket that I use every night, but I'm going to re-show it.
Hi Elma Pachin, did you know you are amazing?
This is the one that I use every night. It's actually a nice size. Very long, very comfy. Yippee! Hey, Then for my partner asked me to make him an owl. So here's a little owl. Got a little tail flap.
Bonk!
Bonk! Little feetsies. You can't really see it too well, but he has green eyes. So I made that one for my partner. Then I made a bunch of these for a previous partner. And we're still on good terms. Everyone's on good terms with each other with this partner. But I made a bunch of penguins. And this is just one of the styles. This is about one of the only ones I have left. Got little wings. He's got little eyes and a beak. And he's covered in my hair. Then I decided I wanted to make a bunny. So I made a bunny. It's got little stuffed ears. Squish, squish, squish. Button eyes and a nice cute little snout. Boop, boop. The only downside with him is I still hadn't quite figured out how to close circles yet, so the kids like picking the stuffing out, so they got it taken away from them, which is why it was in the room behind me. And then I successfully figured out how to close a circle. And we are left with this cute little doll. He had a hat. One of the kids stole the hat, put it on, and left. By kids, I mean my partner's children. He has 2 boys. They're both under the age of 8. Now, you'll never guess what I'm about to pull out. But the Hatter makes hats. This one is a hat and scarf combo. I know, right, Vascu? We've got smaller, cuter hats. And I even have a purse that I made in here. What's in it? Oh, look! My coin pouches. I made little coin pouches. It's a drawstring. And I keep them in my little bag, which has a flap. Not a very long strap, so it's very high up. I mean, whoop, very high up, but still. Yeah, I really like the way that the red one came out. You would slip it open a bit, drop what you wanted inside. It's actually a very decent sized pouch. Let me floof it out. See? It's actually a really decent sized pouch. And then you tighten the top. And you can hang it from your hip, like a little coin purse. Let it jingle jingle, and you can feel rich. Or a dye bag. This one's smaller. I think it was the first one I made, and I think I was attempting to make a hacky sack and fucked up. But like, this is how tight my stitches are. You can't see my hand. And I've got a light shining into it. Oh, this might be the right size. Oh, it's too small. Too big for that. But it's like a little baby Halloween hat. Got a couple of baby sizes. And I don't know why. Maybe, baby. And normally what I do is I donate the hats at the end of the year. But this past year, I took the hats and things and the remainder of my penguins and I brought them to my regional Burning Man and I gave them away as gifts. So because we're camping and shit, people forget like it may be really hot during the day, but once that sun goes down, you've got no heat, especially up in the mountains. So I was offering people hats and scarves. And there were nights that I looked around and would just see my hats. So many people wore them because they forgot warm gear, even if it was the only thing they were wearing. And I got so many compliments on them. And like, I had gifted the board of directors and all of the leads their own hats last spring when we did the spring retreat. I gifted all of them their own hats. And some of them had brought them to the burn and were still wearing them. And I saw in a photo, some of them were wearing them for the winter retreat that they just did. So that feels really nice to know that people are using the stuff that I'm making to its full extent. I was supposed to be counting stitches and I never did. Oh well. So, yeah. And like, there were so many people that were so jealous when they heard that people had gotten penguins from me and they got to see them. They were like everywhere. The landowner's granddaughter, she's a toddler. And I gifted her the first penguin that I gifted out. And they thought it was an owl because it actually was in these colors. So when they said that they looked like an owl, I was like, yeah, sure, it's an owl. Because it kind of looked like a barn owl. They had to keep bringing it with them when they brought her around. I can't talk and count at the same time. Seventeen, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 40. 50. I need one of the ones that has the stitch counter in it. 60. For real. It's just, I love those moments. Or the old men who were mistaken to be Santa that just do it. $70. 80. 90. 100. Now, this is the part where it's going to confuse you because I don't say 110, I just say 10. There's no point in adding the 100. I just have to keep track of how many times I've reached 100. So, 100. 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. $90. 200. There, I fixed it. Back to 200 again. Okay. Now let's hope it stays that way. We were down like 20 stitches somehow. No, no. 20. 20.
Nice to meet you, Flitzy.
I was adding stitches the last several lines. That's why I needed to count. Yeah. I somehow dropped a lot of stitches. But that's okay. That's why we count. And if I had one of those counting ones, then I would notice immediately if I dropped any. But they are pricey. And I don't have money. So, anyways, now that I'm done counting, where was I? What was I talking about? Where did I finish off my thoughts? Did it sound like I finished off my thoughts? It's a better question. Ooh, that was a twitch. Hugo, what's your favorite Pokemon? Hmm. How's your ghost hunting going, Vescu? Get any more?